Hola amigos! Welcome to this week's episode of Linnea Stella. Episode is called Video on YouTube. Yeah, I know. Today we're gonna talk about how you can shift your perspective and choose happiness. And bear with me, because I know it sounds like a cliche, but this is something that's very alive for me, something very real and something very raw. And also the reason why I have kind of a different background than I usually have. It is because as you're watching this, I am desperately trying to catch the last glimpses of sunlight, of daylight today. And why is that? Because usually I film on Sundays. Today is Monday. I missed yesterday's filming because I was going through something and I had this very epiphany that I'm gonna share with you right now. So you see, everything is a blessing in disguise. Everything can be alchemized, for example, for a YouTube channel or just to feel better in life in general. I was literally running home right now to catch the last sunlight to be able to film because my ring light has broken. So just to give you some context, coming in hot today. Or very chaotic, but I have an important message that is gonna change your life if you really apply it to your life. So let's dive straight in. I'm gonna tell you a story. So the story happened yesterday. I was feeling down, sad, angry, just not in the vibe of filming at all, and just frustrated over something that I have felt frustrated over for years. So a part of me was kind of done with this. And now I know that some people are going to be like, well, it's important to feel all your feelings, to not bypass, and 100%. But we also have the power to pull ourselves up, to choose a higher emotional state. And that's what we're going to come to. But I was sitting there and I decided to go out because usually when I feel down, it helps to move my energy, to physically move my energy, to go for a walk, to go for a workout. And yesterday I chose to go out for some tacos because I live in Mexico. And as I was sitting there, around this time, it was getting dark and I was just angry and sad and felt kind of in a victim energy and like, poor me. Why is this situation happening to me? And I thought this was already over. I thought I had already learned a lesson and I was sitting there kind of a little angry at my tacos. Then 2 cute street dogs came and wanted some tacos. I felt a little better, but I still felt grumpy. And then I kind of got tired of my own shit. I was like, why am I sitting here being grumpy? And then I spotted some people just a few meters away from me, or feet if you're American. And they were just having the time of their life. There was this guy sitting with an ukulele, just playing a little. Ooh, how does ukulele sound? You know. And there was another guy playing, I don't remember what instrument. Let's pretend he was playing a drum. There was a very bad acting from my side. But you get the point. There was playing and there was a woman who was singing and they were just standing there enjoying life, enjoying the moment, being perfectly fully in the moment. And I am sitting there replaying this conversation with a certain person, feeling grumpy once again, when it hits me, like a lightning from clear sky, as we say in Sweden. Why am I choosing to be sad? Why am I choosing to be grumpy in this moment? When just a few meters away from me, these people are having the time of their life. I can just choose to be happy. And depending on how you're feeling right now, maybe you feel like punching me through the screen. I get it, but it's actually a very deep message because I felt that it really came from God. It came from above and I was like, wow, I had this embodied experience of, oh, I can actually choose to be happy. I am not a victim of this emotional state. And while it is legit to feel all the emotions that are passing through you, we also need to remember the loop. This is a very simplified model of what happens in your energy field. Your thoughts affect your emotions affect your thoughts. Because as I was sitting there feeling grumpy, feeling irritated, my thoughts weren't like, this is the best day of my life, I love my life, roses, diamonds, rainbows, everything. No, I was feeling like, poor me. Why is this happening to me? Why is this person reacting in this way? Why am I thinking about this person right now instead of playing ukulele with these people, these other humans? You see, because the emotions, the lower vibrational emotions, created lower vibrational thoughts. So your emotions, this is my point, are not living in a silo. It is not like you're just feeling low and there's nothing to do about it. No, you can shift them through your thoughts and also through your actions. If you wanted to make this a little more complicated, we could also add actions as a step here. An example of that is that I took the action of leaving my home, going out for a walk to shift my state. So that's an action I took to shift my emotions. And of course, we don't want to bypass and pretend that emotions aren't there. We want to feel them, but also remember that we have this capacity of controlling them, especially if we know deep down that this is not something that I want to focus on. For example, if, God forbid, you have a loved one who passed away or something truly heartbreaking happened to you, then you might want to be with those emotions for a longer time and really allow them. So it's not that I'm talking about. I'm talking about this silly situation. For example, maybe someone got mad at you in traffic and honked at you, and then you get angry about that, and things that aren't worth your energy. And this is exactly what this situation was that I was in. I knew that it wasn't worth my energy, yet I had all those emotions. And that is when we want to break out of it, or when we can choose to break out of it. When I had that epiphany, I was like, wow, I can just choose the ukulele frequency instead of the upset frequency. And that is always available to us. Isn't that beautiful? And I also got reminded of something that the mushrooms told me a couple of years ago. I love the mushrooms. I haven't met them in a few years because about 3 years ago, they told me, don't come back. You are now capable of accessing this information on your own. You can speak directly to God. You don't need an intermediary. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, I am better than someone else, but everyone can choose to speak directly to God. And it really felt aligned to me, especially as they told me, like, you don't need us anymore. So I actually haven't met them in a few years, but they showed me a really powerful thing one of the last times I met them. And I'm gonna show you. This is what they showed me. Here is your emotional frequency. So these are high vibrational emotions like joy, happiness, bliss, peace. And here we have the lowers: anger, sadness, frustration, resentment, and so on. And what they showed me is that we have invisible ties between different persons, different situations, and also money, different sums of money, invisible ties to different emotional frequencies. For example, if you see person A here, you feel happy. So you have the emotional tie to a higher vibrational emotion. However, if you see person B, who just honked at you angrily in traffic, you feel lower vibrational emotions. All these associations are happening subconsciously. We have these ties to everything around us, to people, to situations. Maybe some are more in the neutral spectrum, hopefully. And also to sums of money. So they talked about the power that money has over our emotional state. And that, for example, if you open your bank app and you see $1 million, you feel happy. Maybe. But if you open it and you see $0, you feel sad. And they were like, it's literally not even real. It's just a number on a screen, and it has this pull on your emotions. So if you imagine this is the emotional spectrum, higher vibrational, lower vibrational, and you have these ties to everything around you, what is happening in your day is that your emotions are going like this all the time, and it's exhausting. And that is what this video is all about. Okay, I feel like God is testing my devotion to this right now because I ran out of storage on my phone. I'm filming on my phone. But at least the mic is working this time. Woo! But that means that we ran out of daylight. So right now we have my arm holding up a lamp. So that is our lighting right now. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Come on. Anyhow, I think that was also a sign that we have covered everything that we needed to cover in this week's video. So I'm leaving you with this. You have the power to cut the ties between you and the emotional roller coaster and choose to stay in the high vibrations, and particularly the vibration of peace, because that is what we humans were designed for. Before the Matrix came, where we were all running around having fun together, skipping around together in 5D. We were all in the vibration of peace and love. And that is available to you in every moment. We just tend to forget that at times. And isn't it so beautiful that we have this power to choose our state? I love it. And of course, in this video, we covered one part of choosing to be happy, which is the conscious mind, and to change your mind. But as human beings, we are more complex than that. We're not just a mind. We're also the nervous system. So it also helps a lot to regulate your nervous system and to reprogram your subconscious mind. Because if your subconscious mind is working with you, that is 95% of your mental power in your corner. And you want that. And also if you have a regulated nervous system, it is much faster to you to go from being irritated, annoyed, to just letting it go and coming back to your OG state, which is peace. But if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and we can cover that in another video, because I am trying to stay more on topic in these videos so that you don't have to hang out with me for too long every week, because that would be a little hard, wouldn't it? Anyhow, have the best day ever. Hit the thumbs up if you got something out of this video, or if you like my zebra outfit. You are also very welcome to subscribing. You can hit the little bell and then you will get a nice notification when my next video is out, which is hopefully in less than a week. So see you later, alligator!